Adjusting most smartwatches to fit your wrist is a very simple matter. Most of them have a fairly conventional strap, such as this. You put it through, when it's tight on your wrist, it's correct. And then you put the flap under the little retainer there, like that. Job done. Not so easy with the Sony Wena. That is a more difficult prospect altogether, because you have to cut the strap to make it fit your wrist. It's supplied with this large silicone rubber strap, and you have to then cut it, put the pins through where the cuts you've made are, and then fit them into this little device here. You do have a millimetre of adjustment on each side, as well as cutting along these lines on the back of the strap here. It's quite a scary process, and I will show you how that's done in this video. Right, so adjusting the size is done by cutting, as you can see here. Measure your wrist, remove the elastomer rubber band, cut the elastomer band to a length that is suitable for your wrist size, along a cutting groove with a cutting tool such as a pair of scissors. So they give you a guide, left, right, to cut, and they show you what that actually means here on the band. That's how you fit it to your wrist. It's not very technical. So they tell you to put a tape around your wrist like this, and mine's 20 centimeters but tight. 20 centimeters. And that is the method by which you adjust this. The strap does come off reasonably easily. You use the little tool that they provide, and you push it. If you can see that, let's do it the other way around, left-handed. You push the tool in under the end of the clip here and push down, and that pushes the pin, which allows it to come out of the strap. And that's the actual electronic component here on its own. And now you've got the rubber strap up here. And then you pull these out, the pins, and it says it wants me to cut A and B, so it wants me to cut one off one end, A, and two off the other end. Right then, here goes the moment of truth. Along the cutting lines. Can you see the cutting lines? Okay, here we go. Oh, it just seems so wrong doing that. One on one side and two on the other. Well, I've done it. Just trim that neat. Okay, so that's shorter than it was. We put the pins back in. On each side. And then we reattach it to the electronic component. You do have a very small amount of adjustment here on the strap. You've got a couple of millimeters. As you can see, you can put the pin in one of two positions on these little metal components here. So that gives you some small adjustment. Let's clip that back in. It really doesn't want to go. Come on, you. That's it. Okay, that's one end. Let's get the other one in. You can do it with a thumbnail if you're careful. If you've got a thumbnail. Like so. Right, let's see how that fits now. It's very loose still. Very, very loose. I'm going to have to cut some more off. It's unwearable like that. It really bothers me cutting up electronic equipment like this. Being told to in the instructions as well. The trouble is, if you sell it on to someone with a bigger wrist, they can't use it then, can they? Bit of an odd one. I'm sure you can get a new rubber band, but right, I'm going to put it on the slightly tighter setting inside here. And let's pop that on and see how that is. Still loose. Still very loose. Oh, right, one more. We'll do the longer side. So at least it's 2 off each side and we're even. Well, 3 off each side actually, isn't it? I've cut 3 of these off each side to make it fit. Little bits of silicone rubber everywhere. Right, that should now fit my wrist better. 1, 2, that's better. That's kind of how I like a watch.